Bass hits start and stop cleanly. No overhang, no bloom. Most home theater subs chase output. This subwoofer chases control. This is a 15-inch sealed sub from Starke Sound. And in my home theater, sealed subs completely change how the bass feels, not just how loud it gets. Today I'm testing it with real movies, real music, real measurements, and I'll tell you exactly who this sub is for and who should skip it. This is not a typical home theater sub. It's sealed. There are no ports, no tuning tricks, no passive radiators, no fake low-end boost. Sealed subs prioritize accuracy, speed, and integration over raw output, and that already tells you who this is designed for. Starke Sound is targeting listeners who want bass to sound intentional, tight, controlled, and invisible, rather than just overwhelming. Build quality is even above what you'd expect at this incredible price level. The cabinet is extremely dense, no flex, no hollowness, no resonance when you knock on it. Perfectly applied commercial veneer. The 15-inch driver uses a ridiculous heavy-duty surround and rigid cone designed for not only linear movement, but showy excursion. Power comes from an ample onboard amplifier with DSP handling control behind the scenes. This is a sub designed to disappear visually and sonically. The grille is full wraparound and attached by solid pegs. All my testing is done in my real home theater, not a lab, not a showroom. My listening space is fairly open, about 14 by 20 with open walls. Placement is co-located with my best single sub position in the room, chosen to balance its output and smoothest response. As it is a single sub, no room will have perfect response at any given seating position. Crossover is set at maximum, phase aligned with the mains, and level matched for reference playback. Calibration was done using the aspect system, followed by some manual fine-tuning with REW. Let's talk performance, because sealed subs live or die by consistency. In-room response is smooth, with natural roll-off and excellent room gain. Low-frequency extension reaches deep enough to feel cinematic without exaggeration. Distortion stays controlled even as volume increases, and transient response is where this sub shines. Bass hits start and stop cleanly, no overhang, no bloom. For movies, explosions have impact, but they don't smear into the next scene or note. Low-frequency effects feel layered instead of flat. There's texture, not just pressure. At reference levels, it stays composed, and more importantly, it integrates seamlessly with the rest of the system. Music is where sealed subs earn their reputation. Bass lines are clear and defined. Kick drums have attack and decay, not just thump. It sounds like your speakers suddenly grew larger and deeper. Here's the honest comparison in a nutshell of sealed versus ported. Ported subs give you more output per dollar and more infrasonic rumble. Sealed subs give you precision, speed, and easier integration without any phase concerns. If you want maximum shake from a single box, this isn't it. If you want bass that sounds intentional and controlled, this absolutely is. It's ideal for dedicated theaters, mixed music and movie systems, and multi-sub setups especially. It's not for massive rooms with just a single sub. The Starke Sound 15-inch sealed subwoofer delivers reference-level control, excellent integration, and musical bass that enhances everything you play. It's not flashy, it's not exaggerated, it's deliberate. And in a serious home theater, that matters. So, real-world wrap-up. There's only one negative thing I have to say about it, and luckily it was a really easy fix. Out of the box, the 3 pots on the back for the crossover, variable phase, and gain were all very scratchy, sometimes binding up halfway through their rotation, and I really had a concern until I realized it wasn't affecting it audibly at all. It wasn't actually dirty pots, even though that's exactly what it felt like. It turned out to be just a manufacturing tolerance in the pot itself. The plastic cap was rubbing on the housing of the amplifier, so just pulling it back on the screw a fraction of a millimeter so it didn't make contact 100% solved it. I did a lot of testing in movies, and the only time that I was able to trip it up and get it to really distort was a combination of running BEQ, a very loud volume, and playing one of these select scenes out there with massive bass impact, like the opening to Blade Runner 2049, or King Kong pounding on the ground, or the sandworm scene. Those types of scenarios are extremely specific, and the only things out there that can play those without any care in the world, well, those subs start at 5,000 and up per subwoofer. Everything else out there, you have to compromise somewhere, usually in volume. Compression testing was absolutely impressive, going well into single digits with usable room gain. Now, it did distort first, way down low, and a couple things you might do to mitigate that and get yourself even more amplifier headroom for the usable bass is either add an EQ somewhere down around 10 or 15, or a high pass filter, and just filter off that extreme subsonic. When you're evaluating a subwoofer, it's important to know exactly what you're listening for. A really easy track to hear the details, especially in a sealed sub, is Daft Punk's Get Lucky. And to do so, all you need is a really good set of preferably over-the-ear headphones. These will resolve bass notes, bass textures, bass attack and decay, all the layers of bass, especially in that song, unlike any subwoofer out there. It doesn't get any clearer than using good headphones. So use that as a benchmark. To sum it up, I think this is the strength of this subwoofer. For its price point, you can put 2 or preferably 4 of these in a room, even if it's a large, open room, have better frequency coverage, and still almost reference volume output than one high-end sub, which will never have on its own complete frequency spread in any given space. And to put this in perspective performance-wise to something more mainstream, it's about on par with the SVS 4000 series, which I've had. I've got a new project coming up. I'm building a dedicated 2-channel test and review space, and this is going in that room because it's small, it's sealed, and it is the perfect environment for it. Hope this helps. Any questions, drop them down in the comments, and we'll see you next time.